doesn't sound as bad until you realize all of them make it ridiculously far.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the devs underestimate Kragg to a degree, and I don't know why. I'm curious to hear their take on it, because obviously I don't know where their head's at with it.
Yeah, so apparently I saw a post from Dan earlier. I forget when exactly it was posted, but right now, like, they are definitely tweaking character balance, but it's not their main priority.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the thing with Kragg is obviously he's the type of character that is going to be an early meta monster. And I do think it's interesting that Loxodon should, in theory, be the same way, but people don't think that way. But again, I think part of it comes back to Kragg having a slightly more well-rounded kit, where Loxodon, uses his disjoints more, so wants to be more of a mid-range character, whereas Kragg is generally weakest at mid-range. It's close and long-range where he's good.
Well, I also think Loxodon sees overrepresentation for how good he is. Like, how good people generally, like, most people I've talked to and have seen have put Loxodon in the lower, bottom 2 of the cast, if not bottom 1. And despite that, like, if you go play quick play right now, the most common character you're gonna run into is Loxodon. Right?
Interesting. I've been mostly playing, especially this beta. I've only played with friends, but yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's weird because I've honestly seen people, like, with us having just 8 characters right now, that really isn't a lot. Right? Like, it's less than half of what Rivals 1 ended with, and Rivals 1, compared to some other plat fighters, like particularly Smash, which is usually the comparison point, it's a very modest roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen, like, people say pretty much every character, maybe not like Zetter, or Meeple or Raster, but I think the other 5 that I've seen everyone be like, why do I keep running into this character?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the character I don't run into basically ever is, I don't see Zetterburn, I don't see Raster, I don't see Ranno. Those are, like, super uncommon. And then, like, Clarin, Loxodon, Kragg, and to a degree Fleet are all pretty common, but Loxodon definitely is who I've played against the most.
Yeah.
And I think he's more like an ease of use, where Kragg rewards you if you go a little bit deeper, and then also is just a better character.
I think it's more so that, like,
when
you do the crazy innovative stuff with Kragg, you probably are getting rewarded a little more compared to Loxodon, where there's just kind of slightly bigger limitations and flaws to stuff like Meatball, which is definitely a really cool tool, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with it.
Yeah,
but
it's not rock, though.
It's
like,
no rock. Very few things are rock, and as we're seeing
doesn't
right
do that.
there,
yeah.
Unfortunately. Rock even against Kragg, who honestly, like, Bio didn't seem like he was at very high percent. That rock still, like, very much killed him.
Yeah. Is Bio the blue one?
Bio's the blue one, yeah.
Okay. Good intel. Good knowledge. To get up specials coming through. And we've seen a lot of Kragg Dittos throughout the tournament life of the short tournament life of Rivals 2 so far. And we've seen a lot to date even, and I think one of the things that defines this Ditto is kind of the unique ways in which Kragg can play around his own stuff. And so using the rock, using the down B, using the pillar as counterplay tools to the exact same moves, I think opens up the floor for a lot of innovation from the actual Kragg player on how to make these tools work in a little bit of a different way. That being said, there's also a lot of scrapping going on, and I feel like this matchup in particular can be very swingy, because Kragg as a character is very swingy and has a lot of potential to put people in the blender and has a lot of potential to be put in the blender. So it's a matter of who's able to do that more effectively and more consistently.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how he evolves, like, over the years, because obviously looking at Kragg in Rivals 1, like, he has some of the biggest playstyle variety I've ever seen in a platform fighter character. That said, he's also working off of almost 9 years of meta development. So I'm curious how Kragg's gonna look in, like, 1, 2, 3 years, like, post the full release of the game, even. That said, even right now, there's still so much variety. You have Kraggs like Boss Hog, who try to constantly fish for and take advantage of cargo threat combos, or, like, ones like Ben, where I feel like relatively reserved and, like, kind of understated neutral, but just the simple, clean punishes. Just going for the stuff that he knows is gonna work.
I feel like, especially with Ben, can definitely tell he's kind of taken the keep it simple, stupid approach, which I think is really, really good, especially on the release of the game. And I think it's really good for people to remember just in general. It's really easy to overcook some of the stuff you're doing and get into the realm of unoptimal because it feels neat. Or like, because you just forgot the basics, right? Like, a good example is when you have someone set up for a tech chase on the platform, from below, what can you do? You can try and reaction tech chase from below, or you can wave dash onto the platform and grab and get an extension. Oftentimes going for the grab in those situations is just easier, and keeps the combo going. So I like that from Ben in general, is just the simplicity of it in terms of this is fundamental gameplay we're seeing, and it doesn't overextend into the realm of being egregious, but instead is just good across the board because he's a good player. Because I feel like on Bio's side of things, I feel like he definitely does that because he's got a pretty solid fundamental core from having played a lot of platform fighters.
Yeah.
But you definitely see him go for a lot more of the quirky stuff.
Yeah, like I can say from experience running into rivals or running into Bio on Rivals 1 ranks. There are definitely times where he'll just pick like a character, you can just pick any character and just be like, okay, I'm gonna try to make this gimmick playstyle where I can see what kind of things I can you know, innovate with it, I suppose. Not at all surprised.
Generously.
Yeah, to see how I can like push this kind of strategy. I'm not at all surprised to see that, you know, a player like him is able to do so well early on in this game. Having both like a lot of experience playing Kragg, despite still being more known for his raster. Like again, a lot of his later brackets, he played a lot of Kragg.
Fragging it up. Yeah, and he's able to take that game one despite a pretty valiant effort from Ben to make a comeback, and unable to get the recovery there means that there's going to be a pretty big lead on the side of Bio here. And I think if Bio's able to push this to like 100% or even the stock, you can start feeling pretty comfortable. But against Kragg, it is really challenging to feel comfortable at any point.
A little scary right there, but yeah. Hanging on with that tech. Bio does have a % lead here, though, a very small one.
Yeah, Ben's done a really good job of not taking much damage on the second stock while putting Bio in a tough position off stage with these rocks. Forward air, not quite going to do a good DI on the side of Bio. The down throw rock is actually just going to mix, but the extended hitbox off the back of the rock does mean that Ben is going to take that second stock and almost even it right back up. Oh, and again, that up throw on the rock into the pillar as a pressure tool is so fun from Bio. We haven't really seen the other tags do that at all.
And here come the up airs. Certainly not as strong as what we saw back in that Genesis build, but up air's been putting in a lot of work for all of our top placing packs tonight.
Oh, a bit of an overextension from Ben, just missing the timing on the up. It means he's going to give that stock up for free, and unfortunately, in this Ditto, the loss of that early stock is such a boon for how the rest of the game outcome looks.
Yeah, I didn't even really see what happened there, but either way, that's not the type of drop you want to see, especially when you're already a game behind. This set's kind of quickly going away from Ben.
Not ready for the tech off the back of the wall means that another extension is going to go the way of Bio, and the extension on the forward smash just hitting the rocks and not landing on the platform after the down air means that Ben is safe, but not for long. Bio able to secure that game 2 in a dominant fashion after Ben gives up that second stock.
Oh yeah. Bio looking great, and we've certainly seen our fair share of reverse 3-0s tonight, so it's hard not to think that there's still a world where Ben claws his way back, but if you're Bio, you're certainly happy right now.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of game 5s today, even if they weren't necessarily reverse 3-0s. They have been getting a little bit spicy, so I don't want to count Ben out of it at this point, but Bio looks very comfortable, and the Ranno coming in, I don't hate the pick because I think Ranno has the ability to scrap with Kragg pretty well. I think the problem comes when you're trying to kill Kragg and getting hit by these huge moves, and now not having rock to deal with Kragg's own rock can make it a lot more challenging to touch this character in a meaningful way.
Yeah, true. I definitely don't think of that like kill issue as much in Smash Bros. Rivals 1. Like it's definitely still there, but I can certainly see that being the case in terms of Kragg or Ranno just needing to use slightly more specific combo tools to put Kragg in these bad spots.
Yeah, and I think the problem is like even though the percentage is basically equal, like we both know it's not, right? Like,
yeah.
Ranno being at 100 and Kragg being at 100 are very, very different stories in this game, and so unfortunately, Ben L being put a little bit on the back foot just needs to do more to make sure that the stock comes off in a timely manner. And when you're getting caught in the blender like this, you start to realize some of the privileges you had when you were playing Kragg versus when you weren't.
For sure. And it's kind of, we saw something similar with, you know, the last game of Kusi Grayson, where it's like, Ranno does have a very good kill move in that up strong, yeah, but if you're not able to land that precise tipper, it's gonna be hard to actually make a kill. Those tower spots are weaker in this game compared to Kragg, where he can still just let all of his strong attacks rip, and all of them still hit like a trap.
Well, and actually both situations this game have been really clever ways from Bio that he set up putting Ben into tech situations. So just unexpected tech situations coming in the middle of combos ended with a pretty big down smash. So I think Bio has been doing a good job setting up those kill options as well. Despite Kragg having good kill options, they're definitely not free.
Oh, that one. I would say it was free. But
definitely a degree of Bio setting them up, and it's that jab again, right? Like no other character's jab does this. That was jab into forward air.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like just knowing how at least Rivals 1 works, I'm inclined to say that there are definitely ways to make it work with other characters. It's just that we haven't seen players of those characters, you know, just throw out these jab finishers like Bio has been, and some of the other Kraggs in this bracket. But I feel like mostly Bio, honestly.
It's good. It's good. Kragg mains.
It's that in combination with, like, I thought that was actually a down tilt at the end, like being able to cancel your jabs